big mouth coming up and tearing into one of us. I wasn't feeling fulfilled. I was really wanting to make a change in my life. And I thought, okay, this will be an adventure.
She's found a job working with marine researcher David Tomlinson, who spent almost 30 years studying the oceans.
I began diving in 1963 in the Bahamas. I'm very lucky to be able to study much of our oceans and see things that not a lot of people get a chance to see.
Hey.
Hi.
How you doing?
Good.
Stephen, Peter, this is Melissa.
Hey.
So you all set to see Cavachi?
Yeah.
Yeah? All right. Come on aboard.
But the anxiety just kept growing and growing.
Come on in, the water's fantastic.
Then I got my gear on. I looked at the boatman and I said,
Here I go. Say a prayer for me.
and I thought, well, why did I say that? The dive was completely different than anything I'd ever experienced. It was amazing. We started going through this white haze. It was quite dreamlike, and there were bubbles funneling up around us coming from the vents of Cavachi.
The volcano is out of sight beneath the divers, far deeper than they can safely descend. All they can see are clouds of sulfur dioxide rising towards them from below.
It was such an amazing celestial scene. It was just breathtaking.
We're behind you!
I remember thinking, oh, okay, that's no big deal. I was just looking forward to getting in the boat and putting a towel around myself. And then they didn't turn around.
They got the engines on. I can't hear us over the engine. Turn them off! Cut the engines! Turn it off! Hey!
I said, David, why aren't they turning around? And he couldn't answer that question.
You're yelling, you're screaming at the top of your voice. Why isn't he looking? We're here. Can't you see us?
The boatmen know the divers must be out of air by now. They expect to see them surface, but the dark sky has made the divers impossible to spot. All they can do is pray for rescue.
I still had faith that they would come back, ride over the waves like heroes and pluck us out of the water. But they didn't.
We are absolutely alone, miles away from land. I knew we were in trouble.
So do you think we could swim for it?
No. It's too far. They're gonna be looking for us down current. I think we should just stay put. Huh?
I said,
David and Melissa can only hope that help is on its way. But with each passing hour, they're getting more nervous.
in the Solomons, there's a phenomenal amount of sea life there. My biggest fear at that stage, I believe, was sharks.
I'd imagine them circling below us. This big mouth coming up and tearing into one of us.
What was that?
What?
Was that you?
What?
Something's on my leg. Ah! Get it off!
It's my gauge. It's my gauge.
Just get it off
I'm
me!
trying. Would you stop kicking? Look, there's nothing down there.
There's everything down there.
If there's anything dangerous down there.
Like sharks, you mean?
Yeah.
Just say it!
Yeah, and you keep kicking and splashing, they're sure as heck gonna come and check us out, right?
All I could think about was sharks. One nibble, one drop of blood in the water, and then we're gone.
The search parties have finally reached Kavachi, but they have no idea that David and Melissa have already drifted miles away in the current. They continue to search above the volcano. David was convinced they'd be found by 4 o'clock. Now it's almost 5. They're still 20 miles from land, and there's no sign of rescue.
It was very clear that David wanted to stay still. He didn't want to move. He wanted to conserve his energy. I remember turning around and just looking all around me and just seeing all this water. And then looking at the land again and thinking, there's no other option.
I really think we should try and swim.
David looked in my eyes and he knew at that point that there's no arguing. We're gonna start swimming.
Okay. Take it nice and easy, okay? No splashing. I'm gonna keep my hand underwater and keep looking. Okay? Nice and easy.
Okay.
I remember him saying, let's just get very slowly, peacefully on the surface, just moseying through. There's no reason to bring attention to ourselves, and don't kick too hard because we'll just get exhausted.
With 30 years diving experience, David knows that splashing about on the surface creates its own risks.
I didn't want to become part of the food chain because having watched the oceans and observed what happens there my whole life, there was a pretty strong likelihood that some sharks would come up and have a good look at us. You're on edge, totally. It was not a good feeling, not at all.
While David keeps watch below the surface, Melissa scans above for any sign of danger.
You see these pointed gray waves, and then all of a sudden you think you see fins.
What?
And so your mind plays tricks with you.
What?
Nothing. Sorry.
It was a constant battle to not let my imagination go.
But the dangers beneath the waves are not just in Melissa's mind.
Ow! Something gripped me.
What? Where? What? Ow!
Then I looked in the water, and there were millions of these little globs, little translucent balls.
Jellyfish! I look, they hurt. They're not gonna kill you, okay? Swim through.
We were swimming through countless amounts of them. We were getting stung all over the place. I remember trying to count the stings. I got up to 64. But then it all blended into one. It was just the zapping pain that was shooting through my entire body.
My lip is killing me.
My hands are on fire.
That's okay. I'll go down in about an hour. Are you okay to go on?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Desperate to escape the jellyfish, the divers splashed around on the surface. They've broken David's golden rule and become a magnet for predators.
As I'm looking around, I'm looking straight down, and I see this little duck coming.
I felt David, he pulled me to the right, abruptly.
David, what are you doing?
And I pulled back, and he pulled me, and I'm like, what?
It was coming straight at me from the depths, literally, from what I could see, straight at my face.